actually live that time.
Dang it, Walt. I'm going to have that song in my head now for the rest of the day. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's September Community Call. Today's webcast is being recorded on behalf of the Microsoft Corporation. If you do not consent to be part of a recorded session, please disconnect now. Attendees may access the web conference recording via a link 72 hours post-conference. To learn more about the ways that you can participate in today's event, please click the Messages button in the lower left corner of your screen. We encourage you to use the Messages panel at any time to ask questions regarding content or to request support. To do so, please click the Messages button at the bottom of your screen, type your question into the white box, and click Send. Your question will appear under Comment Pending until someone responds. Your feedback is important to us. At the end of the session, a survey URL will appear on the left side of your screen. Simply click the survey URL, enter your email address, and select the appropriate responses. Thank you for your support. If you experience technical difficulties during today's webcast, please press F5 to refresh your console or download the video troubleshooting PDF by clicking the Downloads button on the bottom left of your console. If you're still having issues, please send a message and I'll be happy to resolve the issue. Thank you for your patience during these announcements. One moment, please, while I start the recording. Thank you for joining us for today's September Community Call. I'd now like to turn it over to your presenter, Walt. You now have the floor.
Thanks, Lynn. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome, partners. Welcome to our first community call of FY17. We did a community call last week through the Marketing Operations and Business Group. That's posted under our community call area. We encourage you to take a look at that. But this is our first community call of our extended team unit. So we welcome you to the Windows and Devices September 2016 community call. So we have a lot of great content. I'm Walt Perry, and we also have Steve Jensen and Greg Davidson. And I'll talk in a few minutes about what their background is, and again, making sure that we go over what type of content we're going to present. So again, thanks for taking the time. We know everybody's super busy, and we know that this time is valuable to you. So we're going to try to get that back as much as we can in the form of content and information. Before I start, I'd like to talk a little bit more about my role and a little bit about the information that we're going to present here. So my name is Walt Perry, as I mentioned before. I am a TSP, which stands for Technical Solutions Professional for Partner in the new Windows and Devices team. We call this an extended or an enablement team unit, I should say, an ETU. And I'd like to go over a little bit about the structure and the things that we've changed in the past. So typically, most of everybody knows that at Microsoft, we are very field-oriented for partner enablement. For many, many years, I joined this team back in the beginning of 2009, and it was very territory focused for a lot of areas for PTSs, and that's what was my former role as a partner technology strategist. So when you really look at it, we were also assigned a PSE, a field PSE. So we would work with a portfolio, probably around a dozen partners. And for instance, my territory was Western Washington and Alaska, and that would be only a little bit of slice of our pie. Now, a lot of you are familiar with Steve Adams, and Steve Adams was a national PTS, and he did very much these types of things around community calls and general enablement. He worked with a lot of the Surface and ADR team, and he is also on our team. So Steve, along with myself, is also a TSP, a Technology Solutions Professional for Windows and Devices, focusing on partners. And I'd also like to mention Chet Devchand, who is in the East region, and we're all prior PTSs being either territory or national focused. So Chet is on our team, and we're being led by Brenda Shaman. So Brenda is a longtime Microsoft personnel like myself, and she's been at the company for many, many years and brings us a ton of experience. So she's our director for not only Windows and Devices, but also Dynamics. So I'd also like to introduce Pang Enger-Soplak. She is our partner marketing manager for Windows and Devices, and essentially our BG lead, our business group lead as well. So when you think about your Microsoft Windows and Devices team, that is us in a core, to a core in a nutshell. So we're really focused again on partner enablement at a national level compared to what we were at as we were reorganized into this new enablement team unit structure. Now I'd like to show you a little bit of what that structure looks like after I talk a little bit more about our vision. So I'm just going to read this straight up. Our U.S. partner enablement team is evolving to deliver an experience around enablement that equips partners for new technologies, workloads, and opportunities. So when I was a prior PTS with a territory focused and a small focus on local partners and national partners, mostly system integrators, LSP or LARs as we used to call them, and not too much devices, we're just focused on general enablement across a lot of different technologies. So when I look at this now, I really like what we did. We really focused into vertical technology segments. So not only do I need to know a ton about Azure or Office 365 like I used to, now really the focus is around Windows and devices. So I think that gives us a lot more value when it comes down to it in order to support you as a partner getting up to speed and more quickly bringing on architects, training salespeople, and doing a lot of different things when it comes down to it. So what I'd like to show you is through our entire Partner Solutions and Programs group, what all of this looks like. Not only the Windows 10 and devices, because as a partner, it's important for you to know that we're making investments across all these different areas. So we basically have our team broken down our lead, as our lead, Joel Bareilles, who's the general manager of the organization, down to two senior directors, Pat Schleit and Leslie Pickering, and Pat runs the productivity team, Leslie runs the platform team. And under that, we have a variety of different management. Like I said, Brenda is our manager for business process and Windows 10 and devices. And then there's other leads across that. Some of you may know either Rajiv Pereira or Tim Mond, or Bob Nash, who are partner technology strategist directors for East Central and West regions, respectively. And those broke down into, again, these team units that I'm presenting to you right now. So if you look at it from a perspective of enablement, there's probably over 150 different combined ways that you can look at these different areas for enablement, for cloud infrastructure management, data platform analytics, cloud application development, and security. So just basically talking through this slide to give you the short story on it. We have resources for you, Steve, Chet, and myself, which are going to help you get enabled around devices, Windows 10 deployment, and Windows App Dev. And there's other resources for different areas. And we want to let you know that we're here from a solution perspective. We communicate internally, and we'll work with you to ensure that you have the right connections across these different areas as we move forward. So the next thing I want to talk about is building Windows communities for partners. So when I look at building community, I want to give you a structure of the things that we're doing. Now, most of you are obviously on this call, or all of you are on this call, and most of you are aware of these community calls, so we really appreciate that. And most of you also are aware of the Yammer communities that we have. So we have a variety of different ways that we're driving this, and this is really going to be core to our enablement team unit, our ETU. With a broad reach of communication, with blog posts, with hooking into other Windows blogs and presenting that information to keep you up to date on the latest, greatest capability of Windows and its devices like Surface or application development. And then we have obviously the Yammer group, which will be able to post information. We're going to have guest ISV speakers talking to you about different tool sets that'll help in potentially migration or management. And we're going to do this across all these different areas. So I just wanted to share that with you very quickly. Now, hopefully this isn't too much of an eye chart, and I'd recommend that you can download this content, or you should be able to download it. We'll be able to post this information for you in the Yammer site, as well as we'll make a blog post about this with links to content. But this, again, is a full court press, as we like to call it. And you'll see that we'll have the blog series, the community calls. There'll be a lot of great information on training and enablement. We're going to try to be reaching out to many partners as we possibly can. There's going to be that Yammer group that's going to highlight this. So not only is it for Windows and devices, but you see our commitment across the stack. And we want to just ensure that you're up to date with the latest offerings, that you're connecting potentially with other Microsoft partners on the Yammer group. Everybody's going to be an open forum. We'll have communication and discussion and great engagement. And again, just take advantage of that full enablement investment that we're making around this community. And we, again, sincerely appreciate your involvement in it. So along with the community, we have a lot of really great information around the technical roadshows that we're going to be doing around that training and enablement. So if you haven't received an invite to our Partner Technical Roadshow, we encourage you to reach out to us, and I'll give you an alias that you could reach out to us to ensure that you're part of this, to get some general feeling around what we're doing around ensuring you have great information around deployment and management and security policy management. So we'll have a 2-day technical roadshow in these cities. The Seattle one's coming up relatively quickly in about 5 days, and we'll have one in Los Angeles, one in Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, and New York. So we encourage you to reach out to us if you haven't seen an invite and ask to be part of this. Now, among those other technical roadshow, we do have additional technical readiness offerings. Say you have some experience, you guys have a current Windows and devices, or even devices and deployment and legacy competency. You want to get additional training. We have some fantastic online training that our community has put together, and a lot of you know that Steve Adams has worked really hard to gather this information and put it together for you and make it available at those URLs. And of course, there's always the What's New in Windows 10 on TechNet, which we'll be happy to bring you in these community calls moving forward, as well as, we encourage you to subscribe to these blog feeds so you get the latest and greatest information as well. So on top of that, I'd like to share this Strong Opportunities for All Partners slide. Again, there's a ton of opportunity here. I'm going to go into my Windows 10 discussion, where I've been at this company for some time, as I mentioned, and I was around back in the 9X days, working with the product group and the teams and OEM and all those specific areas. And I've seen a lot of really great adoption around prior operating systems, but let's focus around Windows 7. So Windows 7 was well received by our mutual customer organizations, as well as you guys as partners, saying there's ways of building profit and a profitable business off this. There's tons of different capabilities around system integration, managed cloud services, creating your own ISV and IP revenue, lots of security services and whatnot. Just to be honest with you, everybody knows that customers really didn't adopt Windows 8 as fast or as aggressively as we would like them to. A lot of the different form factors and the bold bets that we were making on the UI didn't really play out. But when Windows 10 came, obviously we're seeing a huge amount of excitement. We're seeing a huge amount of opportunity for all of our partners. So when I look at this, these are the opportunities that are there. There's a great way of creating additional profit margins for your company and building on these particular areas. So we would like to just, extend an offering to join and continue to join the partner community if you're interested. If you're new to the call and you're interested in building out practices, we have the alias down there, winrecruit@microsoft.com, that goes directly to Steve, Chet, and myself, and we monitor that alias every day. There's a lot of really great content at aka.ms/win10recruit, and that QR code right there will take you directly there if you wish to use that instead of type that in. So with that, again, I want to extend a warm welcome as this kickoff for the community call on behalf of Steve, Chet, and myself, and say thank you for investing in continuing to be a Windows partner, or if you're new, to continue to invest, and we'll work with you around that. And with that, I'd like to talk again a little bit about some content Steve's going to present. Now, Steve is a fantastic resource from the business group, and I'll let him introduce himself. And he's going to talk a little bit about some Win 10 information for you from Anniversary Update. I think he's got some really great security content he's going to share. And then after that, we're going to hand it over to Greg Davidson, who's our Surface, one of our sales leads in Surface, and he's going to talk to you about some programs that he has as well. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Steve. Steve, are you there?
Yeah, I sure am, Walt.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, and please feel free to take it away.
Okay. Wait for the slides to reload here as I take over presenting. Hi, everyone. Nice to spend time with you today. As Walt says, I'm on the Windows Enterprise team, and I'm the Partner Solutions Manager. So, really excited to engage with this community more and hopefully be able to provide some service for you today. I'm sharing some of the information that we've put together to help you develop and maximize your business opportunities. So we'll jump right into it. As Walt says, I'm going to go kind of quick through some of these slides, if that's okay. We do have a lot to cover, and I want to make sure there's time for some upcoming slides. But we presented this slide at WPC, and the fact is, we continue to see that Windows 10 is on a roll. Customers like it. I guess I'm happy to say that we've learned from some of the feedback we received on Windows 8 and have done some really great things with Windows 10, and customers seem to really like it. So the responses we're getting from people are good. At the same time, there's a new attitude within the Windows team at Microsoft that no one's resting on any laurels. Like that, if that ever happened, and I don't know if it ever did, not while I've been here, but people are really digging in and driving innovation, working really hard to make sure that Windows is a fantastic product that consumers and commercial customers love. And because of that, you're seeing that the results of that by these responses from people. 96% of our enterprise customers right now are testing and looking at Windows 10, in a serious manner to deploy it. So that tells us that there's a huge opportunity out there for partners like yourselves this year to go and work with these folks and make sure that we get Windows 10 deployed for them. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, among some other things. But related to that, we've typically seen these 4-year cycles for commercial enterprises to deploy the next version of Windows. And so with Windows 10, we're seeing that cycle shrink. It's kind of a new world. And we've made some improvements with Windows 10 that make it easier and quicker to deploy as well. And then all of these things are kind of combining to shrink that cycle time down from 4 years to 2. When Forrester looked at this is kind of what their view was. And if you look at the midway point, we've passed WPC, so we're right into the thick of things where these customers are really getting serious about deploying. And so hopefully all of you are doubling or tripling down on your deployment efforts with your customers, because this will be one of those windfall years in regard to that. At the same time, it's a transition year, and we'll talk about that as well, because your business around Windows will change, and we think it will get a lot better for you. By the way, if you have any questions as I'm talking, Walt and Steve and Chad are on the line, and we'll be able to respond to you quickly. So please fire away with questions in the IM box if you have questions. So one of the things that we'd like to talk about is the Windows 10 anniversary upgrade that's available to people. And the features that have been improved, I've got a few of them on this list that I'm going to talk about, but they're really representative. And so I'm not going to go into great detail on them. There's been improvements to Windows Hello, which is a really cool feature on Windows 10. If you're not already using it, hopefully you will be soon. I use it every day, and it just makes logging into your PC so much better, so much easier. It's one of those things that, not having to type your password in all the time. It's a convenience thing that, people love. But that's innovation, and that's good things that, the Windows team is working on. Similarly, Windows Ink, this is one of those features that, will take time for people to get used to and to use more and more, on different applications and different things as they develop over time. But it is one of those things that, when we look forward 20 years, you can imagine all of the ways that Windows Ink and that type of interface capability will affect people's lives and improve them. So it's another great feature that we continue to work on and make improvements on. Cortana is expanding. One of the things they called out is the ability to use Cortana inside the Windows Store to help find the right applications for you. And so you'll see that Cortana just continues to evolve and improve and expand the surface area where Cortana is touching and helping. At the same time, we've talked about Microsoft HoloLens and how that's being enabled on the Windows 10 platform now. And this has all sorts of different applications and exciting new business innovation opportunities related to it. So Microsoft HoloLens is one of those things that we're very excited about. Hopefully you are too. And we can always talk more about that on future calls. I'm sure Walt and team would be excited to do that. And then even for web developers, this is something that we made a lot of great improvements to expand the ability for applications to reach more customers. Win32 and .NET developers, for instance, can now extend their apps with the Universal Windows Platform capabilities through Project Centennial. And .NET developers can extend apps cross-platform through the Xamarin project. And so, there's different things that, we continue to innovate and drive out. And that's kind of some of the talking points for this Windows 10 anniversary upgrade. There's actually a couple other ones that I'm going to get into related to Windows 10 Enterprise on CSP, which is one, and also Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection, which are very exciting features, especially for commercial customers and for you partners. And so lots of things that have gone on actually with the Windows 10 anniversary update, and we hope that you're excited about it like we are. So as we talk about Windows 10 as a service, which is this changing world we're in, and the anniversary update is one of the first realizations of this new world we're in. We talk about security and threat protection, and we know that the way we've historically released Windows, there were these gaps between when we'd release our latest updates and there'd be a certain level of technology, and then hackers would chip away at that and find the gaps and the holes, and they would be able to breach customer firewalls and security mechanisms for a period of time until we came out with another set of updates that kind of closed the gap on a lot of those breaches and threats. But then the hackers would go to work again, and there'd be this delay. And so with Windows as a service and these frequent updates that we're doing, you see that that time lapse changes, right? It gets smaller. And so we're actually getting to this point where we're so focused on this, and we have so many resources looking at this and checking the telemetry on a daily basis that like we're starting to get ahead of some of those hackers, and it really does change the situation. At the same time, we do understand that we'll never be 100% anticipating every potential hack, right? It's impossible with the complexity of the technology we work with, and that's why we've introduced Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But really, this is a good visualization for what the customer benefit is from Windows as a service from a security standpoint. And I like the way this slide is built and kind of lays that out. Hopefully you like it as well. Another thing that we want to talk about is why Windows as a service updates run better. Historically, people would take some of the updates and employ them, but maybe didn't take all of them. And so when you're running Windows as a service, you're really ensuring that you're getting all of the updates, and so that all of the pieces and fixes work seamlessly together. And so that you get that full cumulative package of updates, which optimizes the performance of the PC. So that's yet another way where, perhaps unintentionally, but people were kind of shooting themselves in the foot a bit by not taking all of the updates. Now, because of the kind of more rigorous employment of the updates, we're going to ensure that people's PCs run better. So that's another customer benefit of Windows as a service. But it also changes things, right? And so real quickly with this slide, I just want to illustrate for you as partners how things change. Instead of doing a great big deployment once every 2, 3, 4 years, you will have this opportunity with Windows as a service to continually touch and interface with your customers. And that presents a lot of different opportunities. The fact that we're rolling out these updates every 6 months means that you're in a continual 6-month cycle with your customers, where you're testing, piloting, and then rolling out via waves the new Windows 10 updates. And then by the time you finish that, it's time to start it again. So you'll be with those customers, working with them, talking with them, helping them on a continual basis. And that, my friends, provides additional opportunity for you. And so this slide kind of demonstrates what that new world can look like. Of course, on the left, you've got your initial Windows 10 deployment, where you'll start with a proof of concept, move into a pilot, and then have your waves of deployment. And again, that hopefully will take less than 6 months, but depending on the organization, that can fluctuate up and down. But by the time you're finishing that, or nearly finishing it, in some cases for some large organizations, it's going to be time to start the next round, where you're looking via Insider Preview at the next updates to Windows 10, and you start piloting that and then work into your next wave. So this is the continual touch cycle that we anticipate most of you, or we want to help you move your business towards. And again, the whole concept here is because you're working with them continually, there's additional opportunities for you to sell services to these customers, which we think is a great evolution of the Windows business. Hopefully that woke everybody up. That's the foundation of Windows for your services. business. And we think that there's just a huge opportunity for you. I'm going to go through a few of those today, with this slide. I'm going to go ahead and build it out for you. But what we see is this huge momentum of customer interest being a starting point, and leverage that. There's not a single customer that you can't go into today and talk to about Windows 10. Like I said, most of them have already started looking at it on their own, if not with your help. And so go in and have that great conversation about Windows 10. There's a lot of great things to talk about, a lot of innovation, a lot of customer benefits that makes that conversation very easy. So leverage that. Go in and start your pilots. At the same time, there's over 400 million devices out there that are over 4 years old. So, those devices are needing a refresh. That's another great opportunity for you to go out and start the conversation just based on device refresh. So as soon as somebody, buys that new Windows 10 PC, then it's an easy segue into, hey, you've already bought these Windows 10 PCs. Let's talk about getting Windows 10 throughout your organization so that you can take advantage of all the numerous benefits that Windows 10 offers. Of course, from there, you get into your lifecycle management of Windows as a service. You get into different Windows projects, security management projects related to Windows. You get into device management, basically. At the same time, you can throw on desktop support, other project services, and of course we've also got other Microsoft products that you can deploy and manage for them as well, like Office 365, EMS, Azure AD, CRM Online, and others. So, and then topping that off, of course, is your own IP and different things that you can layer in as special sauce, depending on the customer, where you can really get nice margins. And I know a lot of you are really good at that. So, this slide basically represents a lot of dollars on the table for you, and it begins with Windows 10 deployment and then continues with Windows as a service and all of the different management services that you can offer to the customer while you're in there because they've purchased Windows 10 Enterprise. So hopefully that all makes sense to you. Here's one quote from a U.S. partner, Chris Hertz with New Signature. And Chris and New Signature, an example of somebody that does this full spectrum really well, and they get some really nice margins because of it. I know there's a lot of other great partners in the U.S. as well. This is just one example. So as Walt said, there's a strong opportunity for all types of partners. I don't have the profile of all of you folks today, but hopefully you fall into one of these boxes, and we hope moving forward that you'll fall into 4 or 5 of them, because we think that you can really leverage your customer relationship to expand your service offering and move into these other areas and build your revenue per customer way beyond what it is today. Now, the other thing we want to mention is that with the anniversary update, we're now offering Windows 10 on CSP. And so hopefully a lot of you are already leveraging the CSP licensing platform to sell O365, for instance. Well, now Windows 10 Enterprise is available via CSP as well. And that does simplify the sales motion for you. We've got the seamless cloud deployment capabilities. And there is that customer-friendly subscription model where you've got one invoice to the customer, and you're managing that well. It makes it really easy for you and for the customers. We really like this as a business model going forward, and we want to encourage all of our Windows partners to take a close look at it. And we do offer the full partner managed solution with CSP now, from CRM Online to Office 365, to now Windows Enterprise, and of course the EMS suite of products. So I don't know, again, how many of you are involved with CSP already, but if you're not, we encourage you to take a close look at it. Another exciting update is the Secure Productive Enterprise. Lots of security-focused enhancements to our products across Office 365, EMS, and Windows 10 Enterprise. And so those are being bundled and offered as a best-in-class cloud service suite. And with that, there's a great set of marketing and sales collateral that we're coming out with that are going to focus on trust, collaboration, mobility, and intelligence, and what those combined products can do for an organization. So it really will help you sell the value of security to your customers and help them to understand the value of the Microsoft products and why they should purchase them as a suite. But just in case they don't, we offer a discount for the suite of products, and we also have a customer offer for SPE 5 that's going to go off at launch. And so a lot of great things there, and we can have a whole nother conversation just about the SPE suites and how to sell those, but that's another great bit of sales and marketing and product innovation that's coming your way. Hopefully you'll be picking that up and running with it. So real quick, and keeping an eye on time, I think I'm doing okay. I'm going to go through some of the things on how you can talk to customers about Windows 10. Additionally, I think Walt and team will make sure that you have access to our MPN Windows Solutions page and Partner Marketing Center, where all of these decks and more are available to assist you with your own sales and marketing efforts. And so you'll have lots of resources available to assist you, but I'll continue walking you through the slides today. So develop your own Windows 10 Enterprise deployment 2-minute pitch. All of this starts with Windows 10 Enterprise deployment. So you want to get really good at having this conversation with your customers. And in most cases, it doesn't take a long time. Like I said, with the type of momentum and customer interest that we see out there, with the device refresh needs, with the product innovations that have occurred, it's a great conversation. Best Windows conversation since I've been with Microsoft, and that's 8.5 years now. This is an easy one. This is fun. This is a great conversation. And you don't need to make it longer than it needs to be. A lot of times 2 minutes is enough. We love telling the story about the Department of Defense and their decision to deploy Windows 10 Enterprise to all 4 million or more than 4 million of their organizational devices. And it was like a 30-minute conversation because they got it. They understood all the innovation. They understood the threats that we face today, and they understood the productivity and efficiency reasons as well. For them, it was a very easy decision. So get your own 2-minute pitch down. Keep it really simple. 4 points. It's safer against modern threats. Customers, you'll love its interface, the mobility and the modern devices that are built into it. It's easier and cheaper for you to manage, and it's easier and faster to deploy than you probably think it is. Past deployments of Windows, have been a bit onerous, but we've made some improvements there. So it's actually a much more efficient and effective process for customers. We do want to focus on the trusted platform piece of the message. We think that that's something that really resonates with customers. And so, talking about some of those features like Windows Hello, Microsoft Passport, a credential guard, talking about device guard and secure boot and Windows Defender, getting into Windows information protection, advanced threat protection. Those are all great things that, Windows 10 offers to customers, and they're easy conversations to have. When we talk about Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection, I don't know if many of you are really aware of this. It is new. I'll take just a couple minutes to tell you about it. Again, when we talk about the threats that are facing us today, we do a great job keeping those threats out. And we're innovating more frequently all the time and releasing those updates. So we know we're doing a lot of great things there. We're protecting the device, we're protecting the boot process. We've got all these different mechanisms in there to protect our customers' infrastructure and data. At the same time, there's always going to be somebody that figures something out. At least that's the approach we're taking. It's a very conservative approach. We hope that they won't figure things out, but hope isn't a strategy. And so we've got Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection. And what this does is it allows us to see any breaches that do happen quickly. And then that affords the opportunity to address those quickly and really mitigate any damage that could potentially occur. And so Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection is one of those features that people knowledgeable about the security needs today. They like to use the quote, there's two types of companies out there. There's companies that have been hacked, and there's companies that don't know they've been hacked. And so that quote really does a great job, exemplifies why Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection is needed. And this is really the differentiator between the Windows 10 Enterprise E3 SKU and the Windows 10 Enterprise E5 SKU. And so upselling to Windows 10 Enterprise E5, you focus on this security pitch. You focus on the security services that you as partners can employ to help customers if they do have a breach, because that remediation is something where you can all directly layer in your services to once it's been detected and everyone's been alerted, you can go in and do the cleanup and touch the customer, be the interface to the customer, and help them resolve any of the problems that occurred. So great service opportunity for you, great value for the customer, and it's something that in today's era, a lot of customers are going to need this. So continuing through some of these features, the interface for Windows 10, very well received. Of course, it's kind of a marrying up of some of the innovation of Windows 8 with some of the more timeless things that people love about Windows. The other thing to again mention is that Windows 10 really rocks on new devices. The fact of the matter is there's never been better Windows devices out there than what we see for Windows 10 today. They are sleek, they are powerful, they're touch enabled. The industrial designs are gorgeous. They're reasonable prices, especially compared to some of the competition. It's an opinion, but hopefully you have a similar one. I think that the Windows 10 devices are better than anything ever produced previously, and that includes all competition. There's some real rock stars out there, and some of them are listed here. Hopefully you feel the same way, but that really is a great way to pitch Windows 10 is on a new device. Showing them the power of the modern devices with Windows Hello, of course the security enablement with the new technology. There's a lot of reasons to purchase a new device. The fact that they're so aesthetically pleasing, lightweight, and powerful, that's just all goodness for us as we're selling Windows. Of course, we have our own Microsoft products as well. Hopefully you've all tried them out, from the Surface Hub to the Surface Book to Surface Pro 4. And of course, we'll have Surface Pro additional 5, 6, 7. We're going to continue to innovate. There's going to be a lot of great new innovation that Microsoft continues to come out with. And what I love about having our own product line for Windows as well is that, it kind of sets the bar. We show what you can do, and it keeps our OEMs pushing forward in a great way. And we see that because a lot of times their devices are still better than ours. but we're setting that standard. We're setting that gold standard, and a lot of them are achieving it or bettering it, and that keeps the whole ecosystem strong. So lots of great reason, like talk about devices. It used to be we didn't like talking about devices so much. I know in the Windows Vista, Windows 7 time frame, maybe even Windows 8. Well, now let's talk. It's a different age. Let's talk about devices. We've got some great data here from Forrester on the return on investment. So this is something for you to have in your back pocket as you're talking to customers. Not only is deploying Windows 10 a great thing for them, but it makes sense economically. So I'm going to kind of jump through some of these. We're running out of time. The content is available. We've got a great new deployment guide and a deployment sales guide that you can leverage. It will help you get started with deploying Windows 10 with your customers. Real quick, I do want to just hit some of the programs that we have to support you as well. You may have heard about the Accelerate Your Business events. These are 2 customer events, really driving with devices in a big way, but there's definitely opportunities for partners to attend these and go to these and sponsor these and, really collect leads from customers that are thinking about new Windows 10 deployments. We're also investing in device days, which are training days for you so that you can become a better device seller. Again, that's one of the great entry points for Windows 10 deployments. And as you're becoming a Windows as a service supporter and for your customers, they're going to need device refreshes. So this is a great opportunity for you to get involved with that and potentially pick up some additional revenues. We also, as Walt mentioned, we have the Windows Partner Tech Series program for FY17, and the roadshow events that he announced. We want all of you to attend those. Make sure that you've got all the technical skills that you need to support your Windows 10 customers. We also put a lot of investment into the Windows Accelerate program. So if you're doing deployments to some bigger customers, we have funding to help you do that, from proof of concepts to pilots to different training resources. Get involved with the Windows Accelerate program. We invest in you in a big way through that, so take advantage. We're also going to start the Microsoft Fast Track for Windows 10 and Office 365 Pro Plus. That's going to kick off for H2. We'll have more announcements around this, but this is going to be a great new program that we're launching to make deployments for Windows 10 better and faster. And we are continuing to invest with our ISVs. So lots of programs there if you're an ISV. We can talk more offline about that. And we continue to incent with the Pro Wins program. So if you do start selling devices, we have some extra dollars to give you. And then we do have this customer rebate offer, as well as the promotion on SPE. We're also doing a separate, or maybe in lieu of, but we're doing a customer offer that's available now for Windows Defender ATP, Windows 10 Enterprise E5 SKUs. So this is a nice thing to help you as you get deeper into the discussion. And the last thing I would say is, make sure that you're leveraging your own internal use rights. And we've got good instructions for you there. And I'm going to turn it back to Walt and team now. Thank you for allowing me to present today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. So our next presenter is going to be Greg Davidson. We'll go ahead and step through these slides here to get to Greg's portion. Greg, are you there? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're coming in a little bit soft there. So.
Okay, I'll try to speak up. I am unfortunately in a hotel lobby, but I really appreciate you guys making some time for me on this call today, everyone.
Absolutely. Take it away, Greg.
Super. Thanks. Very nice to meet everyone today. My name is Greg Davidson. I am the North American sales lead for a program that we've got going on called the Surface Business Transformation Program. And I won't take up too much of everybody's time today, but I really just wanted to make you guys aware of this program If you are a reseller of Surface devices, it's a great way to help you close some big deals. If you are an app dev partner, it's a great way to get some funding to perhaps help offset the cost of some of these projects you might be doing with some Surface customers. So at a high level, the goals of this program are to drive sales of our first-party devices, including the Pro 4, Surface Book, and Microsoft Surface Hub. And Microsoft has a lot of different programs going on at any one time, and we do on the Surface side as well. This program is specifically focused around removing application-related barriers. So we often see a lot of customers who like our devices. They would love to deploy them in quantity, but there's something else getting in the way to prevent them to doing so. And a lot of times that's application. Either they don't have the right application, or the applications they have are on the wrong OS or something. And this program is designed to help them hopefully get those barriers out of the way to get them to be able to deploy Surface. So, we're trying to increase penetration, and at the end of the day, we also want to build some evidence so that we can reference these solutions that our customers like you guys are building. So hopefully you can kind of create a flywheel to generate more opportunities for all of us. There's a lot of information on this slide. I won't go over all of it, but let me highlight some of the key things. As I said, the objective is to drive some of our hero devices on the Surface side, and we're really investing in these partner-driven opportunities where they're building proof of concepts that are really transforming customers' businesses. It's customers that are looking to Surface and Surface Hub devices to really change the way that they do business, whether that's how their salespeople perform out in the field, maybe it's how their retail environment is set up and how they interact with customers, maybe it's on the banking side as well, but it's not so much taking devices and replacing them with new devices, but changing the way that they do their business. At the end of the day, obviously with a Surface deployment, they're having to do some migration to Windows 10 if they're not there already. And for you as a partner, anytime that you're looking at a mobility type of solution where Surface is a fit, we'd love for you to reach out to your PSE, or if you're connected with the device SSPs, they can help you to discuss this opportunity and how you take advantage of it. What we'd love to do is have you kind of look at the customer engagements you're working on, or if you've got new ones in the pipe or you think Surface is a fit, once again, we'd love to help you out. The criteria is it has to be 500 or more Surface devices or 10 or more hub units. We also have to have it qualified in our system by one of our Surface specialists, just to make sure that, yes, there is a customer does have budget, they do have a real project in the books and a timeline, and they have a true interest in Surface devices. But it is a standard BIF program, so if you're used to how that works and how you make the request for BIF, or how our team makes the request for BIFs, how you're required to create a statement of the work to highlight what you're going to be doing and the cost therein. It's the same kind of process you're used to there. I think this slide is probably the most important one for all of you guys, and really kind of giving you examples of the types of projects that we're looking to fund with Surface devices or under the Surface Business Transformation Program. Once again, they're all application-related barriers, but it can differ depending on where the customer is in the scope of their project. Maybe they're early stage and they don't know what types of applications they need. We see this especially a lot of times with Surface Hub, where they think it's a great device and they'd love to deploy it, but they're not quite seeing enough value in it as a pure whiteboard Skype type device. And we can help fund a project where you or another partner would come in and do some of the ideation with that customer and help them identify what an app would look like on Surface Hub for that particular customer to really help them envision how it would change their business. So on the ideation side, we can help them or we can help fund projects that help them figure out what a Surface or Surface Hub app would look like. If they already have a good feel of what the app that they need is, we can help in the creation phase. So that's working with a partner to perhaps build out the wireframes of an application so a customer can really visualize what that application would look like and what it might do. Maybe it's building out a demo version so they can pilot it on a number of devices. Or if they're ready to go, it's building out a full application from scratch, or at least covering part of that project to help them build out a full application so they can deploy it. And then finally, maybe they already have applications on an earlier iOS or an earlier version of Windows, and they just need them brought to Windows 10 and perhaps optimized for Surface or Surface Hub to be able to deploy Surface devices. We can help out with that piece as well. So this should really give you a sense of the type of different projects that we're able to fund. You know, in terms of the dollar amounts, obviously the larger the project, the more that we're able to fund, but we're talking about good dollars here. It's anything from $50 to upwards of a couple $100,000 per project that we can help fund. So it's something that can make a big dent in a project you're working on, or perhaps to help kickstart an opportunity that you're trying to sell Surface for one of your customers. So, you know, what makes a good opportunity to fit for this program? As I said before, it's not really the laptop replacement where they have old devices and just trying to get new ones. It's people that are looking to solve a problem, and they need help getting there, and a lot of times the application is that piece that helps them get there. This program is for whale opportunity. It's a whale hunting program in that it's not for your 10s and 20s. This is the program that we're hoping to help you land the 500s, couple $1,000, 1,000-unit deals, and help you land those big programs. That's why we have big dollars assigned to it. As I mentioned before, I think Hub is a great fit for this program because a lot of customers really need to visualize what they would do on a Hub to be able to make the case internally for a large deployment. And at the end of the day, it still has to be a good Surface opportunity. You know, this program isn't going to add LTE to a device. It's not going to give them a new version of Salesforce or another ISV that may work with. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're investing in projects where the application is the biggest barrier to helping them close the deal. So I know there's a lot of information real quickly, but I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of this program out there. Like I said before, it's a great way to either help you close some opportunities if you are on the device sales side, or if you're an app dev partner who works on these type of projects, we'd love to talk to you and understand how we might be able to help fund some of those projects you're working on with customers. If you've got any questions, my contact information is here, greg.davidson@microsoft.com. Please feel to reach out to me or PSE or your device SSPs, and we'd love to help engage with you on these type of projects. So thank you guys so much for your time and allowing me to present today.
Awesome, Greg. Thank you so much. First thing I'd like to do is go ahead and appreciate and thank our guest speakers, Steve Jensen and Greg Davidson. And what I'd like to do is just go ahead and move over to the next slide here. One second. Thanks for your patience. So again, thank you for attending this September community call. The next community call will be on the 19th of October. We're typically trying to do these every Thursday, but due to some schedule conflicts, it may move back and forth. Next month is an example of that. And we have a lot of things planned. One is we're very interested in getting ideas from the community, from partners. We saw a few questions come through, and there's a lot of really great stuff that Steve primed for next month as well. One of those being the accelerate and programmatic opportunities from a licensing and funding perspective. I think there's going to be a lot of questions on that. And we're also going to have some really great information like guest ISV speakers in our next community call, LapLink being that opportunity. So we encourage everybody to go to the Yammer site, download the PDF, which I created and posted up there, and continue to monitor those different blog sites, Yammer sites, and community sites that we've put up there. Utilize the winrecruit@microsoft.com email to send us questions or reach out to us directly. You know how to get hold of us. And with that, I'll go ahead and give it back to Lynn.
We would like to thank you for attending today's September community call. The recording and PowerPoint deck will be available on aka.ms/US Windows Call within 72 hours. And again, I would like to thank Walt, Steve, and Greg, and thank you again for attending today's webcast. You may now disconnect. Have a great day.
Great job, guys.
Okay, we're done.
I'm still talking. I was on mute. Silly. Thanks again, Lynn. Really